Challengers is a movie starring Zendaya. Don't be fooled by all the tennis in the trailers and even all the tennis in the movie. This is not a tennis movie. Tennis is the setting, but this is really a movie about how all of these people's problems would be solved if they just become queer and poly. Well, other than Zendaya's character, who truly does care more about tennis than she cares about people. But this is a movie about two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not gay. No, it's two guys who both fall for the same girl, all set around tennis because they're all professional tennis players. But these two guys are basically like best friends torn apart by this girl. The movie is set over a period of like 13 years, and it's done in like a non-linear storytelling thing. Like a big centerpiece of the film is this match played by the two guys against each other, set in like at the end of the timeline, and then we flash back to previous things and stuff like that. And there's a lot of really creative cinematic storytelling here. Like there's some really good like one-take scenes. Like there's a one-take scene that starts off as a sex scene but then turns into an argument, and it goes on like it's like a one shot for that. I think it's like a 3 or 4 minute scene, and for these actors to go from it being a sex scene to like one of them like getting dressed and stretching and getting ready to go exercise, and then they start having a fight about the relationship and about tennis and stuff like that. It's a really well executed one shot scene. Now there are some quick camera moves there that I think might be hiding some seams. Like they might have done some invisible stitching together of different takes, which is something to be, aware of whenever you see a big one-shot thing. If there's a quick camera pan, you can really easily hide any seams with the motion blur and stuff like that. But I was impressed, and I didn't see any of the stitches, if there were any. But the film also, like, at some points, it breaks filmmaking conventions. Like, there's a convention called the 180 degree rule, where you never, when like you have a conversation between two characters, there's like an invisible line that you don't want to cross over 180 degrees, because you kind of want to have each character still staying in like their general position on screen, so that like when you're doing the over the shoulder shot between one and the other, that they're not switching places. But there's a sequence in this film in which the two characters are having a conversation on a tennis court, and the camera is like locked in right over the net, but looking like squared off, looking straight down the court on both sides. So it cuts from, you're looking from one end of the court to the other end of the court, cutting back and forth between the two characters. And it's visually disorienting, but it's also done to show that their conversation is not really just a conversation. It is like a tennis match in itself, except instead of a ball, they're using their words. Also, like, there are music choices. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who are also Nine Inch Nails, they do the score for the movie. And there's this like really heavy like electronica techno beat that comes in, that feels like very action paced, but it comes in during like scenes of arguments. It also is like mixed louder than you would expect it to for scenes that are dialogue heavy. Usually in those scenes you want to have the music lower so that you can hear what everyone's saying, and it's still mixed so that you can hear everything. It's just that it's like you're treating these arguments as though they are the big action set pieces of the movie rather than the tennis matches themselves. Oh, it's really, really well done. There's also, if you've seen the Lonely Island song Three-Way, or The Golden Rule, I think is what it's also called, the song where, it's not gay if it's in a three-way with the honey in the middle, there's some leeway. There's a bit in that music video where there's like just wrestling under the covers, because in the music video it's Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake having a three-way with Lady Gaga. There's wrestling under the covers, and then it looks over to like the doorway, and Lady Gaga is just standing there eating cereal and goes, "Oh, you guys are still here," and they like look up from the covers and it's just them. This movie basically has a scene that's that. it's like one of their first meetings. They're trying to figure out which one is going to get the girl, and then she just decides to make out with them both, and then she leans back and their eyes are closed, and she just sits there with a devilish grin watching them making out with each other without even realizing it. Brilliant moment. And like the movie really is just, I don't know, tennis is just a metaphor for being gay. they're gay, and they need to accept it and actually like just stop fighting with each other and stop using Zendaya as a proxy and just, you know, get together. I really enjoy this movie. I really recommend it. I think it's a really smart movie. I think it uses a lot of interesting and unusual convention breaking to tell the story. And yeah, I think this is one of my favorite movies this year so far. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. And drop a comment below telling me what you thought of the video. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 2, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a very special shout out to my Whaled Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.